Alright, so now we're doing section, I think it's section C. No, section D. Section D, we're going to be using a lot of Rule 4b. Rule 4b says that if you have log base a of a to a power, in this case x, the answer is just the exponent, x. So if you can rewrite a lot of these in terms of your base, you can find the answer quickly. So write this one as log base 3 of 3 squared, and the answer is just 2. Now write this one, log base 2 of the 4th root of 2 cubed, which is what 8 is. And when you write something in fraction form exponentially, the top of the fraction is the power and the bottom is the root. So 4th root 3rd power is 3/4. And so you can see that that one just gives you an answer of 3/4. Okay, in this one you write the 16 as 4 squared. And since you got a power and then no power, those are being multiplied. So it's really log base 4, or 4 to the 2.4. So your answer is just 2.4. You can't take the log of a negative number, so that one doesn't have a real solution. ln e to the 4.5, that's log base e of e to the 4.5. So when you get ln of e, it's just the exponent is your answer, because your base matches. It's Rule 4b. Okay, now this one is just 4, and the first part is 3, so the answer is 12. And this one, you can change that to 1/2 power. That's what square root is. And you can bring it across the fraction bar, and it changes the sign of the exponent. And so now your answer is just -1/2. Okay, number 30. You write that as a fractional exponent of 3/4, 4th root 3rd power. And so your answer is just 3/4. Here you're going to use Rule 2 to bring these together and multiply them. And you can combine those and write them just as e to the 7th, and so your answer is just 7. And this one, before you can bring these together using Rule 3, you've got to bring this 2 into the exponent, and so you end up with ln of e to the 12 minus ln of e to the 5th, and subtraction becomes division. And when you're dividing terms with the same base, you subtract their exponents. So you end up with e to the 7th, which we now know is just 7. Okay, in this one you can bring these together and write this as division using Rule 3. 75/3. And we know that's 25. And finally we can write 25 as 5 squared, which by Rule 4b tells us the answer is just the exponent, 2. Alright, 34, you can bring these together using Rule 2. They become multiplication. Then you can write 64 as 4 to the 3rd power. And that's just 3. This one, you can write 125 as 5 cubed. And then you can bring the 5 cubed across the fraction bar. It changes your exponent sign. Okay, and so now by Rule 4b, that's our answer. And now here you got log base 6 of the third root of 6. Well, third root is the 1/3 power. Remember, it's first power, third root, so 1/3. And so your answer here, according to 4b, is just 13. Okay, let's look at 37. You can write that 81 in terms of 3. 3 to the 4th, and it's raised to the negative 0.2, and those we're going to multiply. So we get 3 raised to the 4 times negative 0.2 is negative 0.8. And that's what your answer is, negative 0.8, or negative 0.8. Okay, you can't take the log of a negative number, so that one doesn't give us a real solution. Rule 7 says if you take the log, any log with any base of 1, you just get 0. Log base 3 of 3 to the 1 is just 1. You can't take the log of a negative number, it doesn't give you a real answer. This one is just 2. Okay, this one's kind of an obscure rule. It says, there's a rule 8, which says a raised to the log base a of x is just x. Okay, so 3 raised to the log base 3 of 8 is just 8. And f, you can write that in terms of 5. You can write that as 5 cubed, which is just 3. Okay, and then here you can write this as 1 over 4 squared, which you can simplify to 4 to the negative 2 by crossing the fraction bar with it, changing the sign of the exponent, and you get negative 2. Okay, let's look at 40. 40, any log of any base of 1 is always 0. Log base 9 of 9 to the 1 is just 1. You can't take log of 0 or a negative number, so that one doesn't give you an answer. D, it's just the exponent 7. Remember, rule 8 says this is just 4. And this one you can write that as log base 3 of 3 to the 5th, and the answer is just 5. Then here you can write 128 as 2 to the 7th, so your answer is just 7. Okay, 41. Okay, that's rule 8. That's rule 8. 10 raised to the log base 10 of 3 is just 3. Log, remember there's no base there, so it's base 10 of 10 to the 5th, which is just the exponent 5 by rule 4b. Again, this is base 10, so you can write that as log base 10 of 10 squared. That's what 100 is. So your answer is just 2. And this one, you can write this one, you don't have to write the 10, but you can write this this number in exponential form, and it's really 10 to the negative 4, so your answer is just negative 4. Okay, this one, e raised to the log base e of 2 is just 2 by rule 8. ln of e to the negative 3, that's log base e of e, so your answer is just the exponent by rule 4b. This one's a little tricky. These two are being added, so you can write them as two things that are being multiplied. And if you don't see that, you really can't solve it. Alright, so you got e squared for the first one, and you got e raised to the log base e of 3 by rule 8, that's just 3. So your answer is just 3e squared. Okay, and then 42. 10 raised to the log base 10 of 7 is just 7, that's rule 8. Log base 10 of 10 to the negative 6 is negative 6, rule 4b. You rewrite the 100,000 as 10 to the 5th, so your answer is just 5. Okay, you rewrite that number as 10 to the negative 3, so your answer is just negative 3. This is rule 8. E raised to the log base e of 8 is just 8. Log base e of e to the 2/3 is just 2/3. And this one is similar to the question 41G, where you have to break that up into e to the first times e to the ln of 5. Well, e to the first is just e, and e to the log base e of 5 is 5 by rule 8. And so e times 5 is just 5e.